Ken Griffin made $16 billion in a year when most investors got wrecked, not because he's a genius, but because he followed one rule. Ray Dalio, who literally wrote the book on investing, ignored it and watched his strategy collapse. This isn't about billionaires. It's about a new rule of survival, a rule that turned the old gods to dust and crowned a new king. Before we dive into how Griffin outpaced a legacy giant like Dalio, know this. This isn't about lessons. It's about leverage. This is The Wealth Project. Subscribe and follow now to learn the rules the rich play by. For decades, the investing world bowed to one mind, Ray Dalio, the philosopher king of Wall Street, the man who treated markets like history repeating itself. He told the world, think long-term, be patient, diversify, and everyone listened until the script flipped. In 2022, while Dalio searched for patterns, Ken Griffin, Wall Street's quiet predator, was already bleeding the system dry, trade by trade. This isn't just finance, it's evolution. Two empires collided, wisdom versus speed, and only one walked out alive. The philosopher king. Picture Ray Dalio in his fortress of glass and charts, history books everywhere. The man who believed that if you understood the past, you could predict the future. He studied the rise and fall of empires like a war general studying old maps. From Rome to Britain to America, he saw patterns in debt, collapse, rebirth. And from those patterns, he forged his masterpiece, the all-weather portfolio, a machine built to thrive in any economic storm, recession, boom, inflation, deflation. Dalio's Bridgewater Associates became the largest hedge fund on earth, $150 billion under management. Dalio predicted the 2008 crash. He warned about America's decline. He became the oracle, the man who saw farther than everyone else. To his followers, Dalio wasn't managing money. He was reading fate. But while Dalio searched ancient cycles for answers, another man was wiring the future, a man who didn't look backward. He built machines that didn't think. They reacted. The apex predator. Ken Griffin doesn't read history books. He hires physicists. Citadel isn't a hedge fund. It's a high-speed organism, a fortress of code, light, and math. Inside, rows of humming servers trade faster than neurons fire, 3 millionths of a second per execution. By the time your screen refreshes, Citadel's already made 1,000 moves. Where Dalio waits for macro cycles, Griffin feeds on microseconds. His team of physicists and engineers, ex-CERN, ex-NASA, hunt the market's invisible gaps. Tiny inefficiencies most people never see. Citadel sees them all. When chaos erupts, Citadel thrives. When markets crash, Citadel eats. Because panic is just volatility, and volatility is profit. So when the world unraveled in 2022, when inflation exploded and fear took the wheel, the two titans met on the same battlefield. One betting on patterns, the other betting on speed. But only one would survive the chaos. The perfect storm. 2022 was a bloodbath. Inflation hit 40-year highs. The Fed slammed the brakes harder than ever before. War in Europe, energy spikes, stocks, bonds, crypto, all crashed together. Investors were wiped out. The S&P sank 18%. Trillions evaporated like steam. But for Dalio and Griffin, this was a proving ground. Dalio's models said this was coming. His all-weather machine was built for exactly this storm. And at first, it worked. By June, Dalio's Bridgewater Pure Alpha Fund was up 32%. Dalio looked like the prophet once more. Meanwhile, Citadel moved quietly. No TV interviews, no press tours, just algorithms feeding in silence, buying fear, selling panic. By April, Citadel was up 13%. Not flashy, but steady, relentless. Dalio looked like a king. Griffin looked like a shadow. Then something broke. History stopped rhyming. The patterns Dalio trusted vanished, and the empire he built on centuries of wisdom began to crack. The collapse. By fall, Dalio's brilliance began to rot. The Fed's rate hikes weren't just aggressive, they were unprecedented. No historical cycle matched it. No pattern fit. Dalio's models froze. What worked for decades stopped. From 32% to 6% in 5 months. Billions gone. His all-weather machine melted in the heat of a storm it couldn't read. Meanwhile, Citadel feasted. Every twitch in the market was an opportunity. Every panic, a payday. By December, Citadel's Wellington Fund was up 38%. A single year, $16 billion in profits. The largest gain in hedge fund history. Dalio, the man who decoded empires, was dethroned. Griffin, the man who conquered milliseconds, took the crown. But how did a philosopher lose to a predator? How did the historian get crushed by the hacker? The answer reveals what money truly obeys in the modern age. The shift. Dalio played chess. Griffin played speed chess with algorithms that never blinked. Dalio waited for the next chapter of the story. Griffin rewrote it mid-sentence. Dalio's strength was foresight. Griffin's was reaction. And in a world where data moves faster than thought, reaction is foresight. Dalio's empire lived in decades. Griffin's lived in milliseconds. He didn't predict the storm. He wired himself into it. Every move, every micro trade, every flicker of volatility, Citadel was there first. And in modern markets, first is everything. This isn't about genius or luck. It's about bandwidth, infrastructure. Dalio's kingdom was built on wisdom. Griffin's was built on velocity. And velocity doesn't lose. But what happened to Dalio isn't just history, it's prophecy. The reckoning. Dalio stepped down, his empire a relic of an age when patience still paid. Griffin ascended, $16 billion richer. A fortress of algorithms humming beneath the streets of Chicago. He doesn't read the market, he owns its pulse. Because in this new world, wealth doesn't reward wisdom. It rewards speed. Speed in decisions, speed in moves, speed in execution. It's not about who's smartest, it's about who acts before the world even knows how to react. That's the new rule, the $16 billion rule. In today's markets, speed is greater than strategy. Dalio studied history to master time. Griffin built machines to erase it. Dalio built a fortress to outlast the storm. Griffin became the lightning that struck it down. The lesson? The world doesn't wait for the wise anymore. It crowns the fastest. And the rest? They become history. This was just one chapter. The next war is already brewing. New names, new machines, new empires. The next billion-dollar play is one click away. Keep playing smarter with the Wealth Project. Pick our latest insight or a curated favorite right here on your screen.